Hello po. Good evening po din, Ma'am Alma. Welcome to our live po. Okay. Good evening po sa ating lahat. Ito po si Felcor Ellen. Live po tayo ngayon. Ito lang ang channel na walang kinikilingan, walang pinapanigan, pangawang katotohanan lamang ang pag-usap-usapan natin dito, mga kababayan ko. Okay? So, dito po tayo ngayon sa pag-usapan natin, hindi kay dito, kundi pag-usapan natin ang mga pangyayari dito sa ating bansa ngayon. Dito sa political issue, especially sa budget or sa impeachment ni Inday Sara. Okay? So, hindi lang tayo mag-focus sa isa kasi maraming issue ngayon, mga kababayan ko. Kaya kailangan nating tunghayan kahit part lang, portion lang sa issue para hindi natin makalimutan at alam nila na sinubaybayan natin ang bawat issue, mga kababayan ko. Okay? So, dito natin makikita ang Supreme Court. Okay? Dito ang Supreme Court na si Honorable Amy Lazaro Javier at pinag-oral argument niya si Minardo Guevara sa Solicitor General of the Philippines. So, ibig sabihin dito, siya ang abogado or justice, hustisya sa gobyerno. Okay? So, tingnan natin kung ano kaya ito, okay, na ginagawa nila ngayon. Tingnan natin kung paano protektahan ni Guevara ang issue. Manggaling itong Supreme Court Justice natin si Honorable Amy Javier. Okay. So, magandang gabi din po sa inyo, Sandy Escolano. Good evening din po, ma'am. Salamat po. Welcome to our live po. Okay. So, pakinggan natin ito para makuha natin ang idea natin dito, mga kababayan ko.
Na yan. Ngayong Solicitor General ho siya, di ho natin malaman kung anong nangyari dito kay Maynard Guevara. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, dinampasoon itong si Ma'am Annie Lazaro Javier, itong si Maynard Guevara dyan sa nangyaring oral argument na yan. Mamaya ho mga kababayan, pakinggan natin. Pero bago yan, isang like at subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community.
During the time of Pangulong Duterte, salute ako nito ni Guevara. Ngayon parang iba ang takbo niya.
Talagang mali ang ginawa ng administrasyon ni Marcos Jr.
Parang mag-cover up siya sa administrasyon ngayon. Kahit alam nila may mali dito. Okay? Pakinggan lang natin kung ano ang sasabihin nila. Itong sa PhilHealth. Pero bago tayo pumunta sa PhilHealth, tingnan muna natin ang pagbisita ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa Cebu. Okay? Sa Cebu ito siya nagpunta. Tingnan natin, mga kababayan ko. Sinday Sara ito. Tingnan natin si Lula, si Nanay.
Ng mga panibagong magagandang proyekto, gayong
si Nanay, o tingnan ninyo.
yakap talaga. Ramdamin. Talagang yung pagmamahal ng ating mga kababayang mga Cebuano dito kay Vice President Sara. Grabe. Yakap po talaga no? Dahil kasama ko niya, ito si Mayor Rama.
Tingnan ninyo mga kababayan kung gaano kamahal si Inday Sara.
Mayor Rama, nagdalit na rin nila.
Ito din si Mayor Rama, yung may cap. May cap sa ulo.
Bye-bye. Grabe ako, titing biton og may nagipo.
Dumadaan lang ho dyan si VP Sara, pero talagang pinagkakanuloan mo siya. Yan. Yan ho ang sinisirahan nila ng walang humpay. Yan ho ang gusto nilang pabagsakin kasi malakas pa talaga sa tao. Alam nyo, kung sa tingin nitong mga nasa administrasyon, nasa upper hand sila ngayon, ayaan lang ho natin sila. Sa 2028, dyan na talagang magkakaalaman. Makikita ho nila na talagang ang pagtitiwala at pagmamahal ng sambayan ng Pilipino.
익수 공진단이 궁금하다. 만성피로, 무력감, 체력 저하에
Nasa mga Duterte. Wala ho sa kung kanino mang politiko. Madali lang naman ho kasi yan eh. Ikumpara na lang ho natin. Panigurado bago ho iiwan ni Marcos Jr. itong administrasyon na to. Sabog-sabog ho ito. Ngayon pa nga lang, di pa nga niya iniiwan. Nakakalahati pa lang siya. Papunta pa lang siya sa kalahati. Sa June pa lang siya mangangalahati, di ba? Sa June, tama. Sa June pa lang siya mangangalahati. Pero nakikita na ho natin mga kababayan na marami na talagang nagpatong-patong na ho ang problema ng Pilipinas mula nung pumasok itong bangag na Marcos na to. Grabe naman yan. Si Lenny Robredo, wala ho tayong nakitang ganyan nung siya ang vice president. Diba? Matigas talaga itong si Lenny. Mahal na mahal talaga siya ng sambayan ng Pilipinas. Mayor Rama.
Mga kababayan ko, nakikita natin
social
dito,
welfare and development,
na
higher education, and
dumaan lang si Inday Sara dito. Ikagutan. Dumaan lang siya dito, nagubot na ang taong bayan. Tingnan ninyo mga kababayan.
Grabe ako, titing biton og may nagipo.
Dumadaan lang ho dyan
Mahal
si
na
VP
mahal
Sara,
si Inday
pero talagang
Sara.
pinagkakanuloan mo siya. Yan. Yan ho ang sinisirahan nila ng walang humpay. Yan ho ang gusto nilang pabagsakin kasi malakas pa talaga sa tao. Alam nyo, kung sa tingin nitong mga nasa administrasyon, nasa upper hand sila ngayon, ayaan lang ho natin sila. Sa 2028, dyan na talagang magkakaalaman. Makikita ho nila na talagang ang pagtitiwala at pagmamahal ng sambayan ng Pilipino nasa mga Duterte. Wala ho sa kung kanino mang politiko. Madali lang naman ho kasi yan eh. Ikumpara na lang ho natin. Panigurado bago ho iiwan ni Marcos Jr. itong administrasyon na to. Sabog-sabog ho ito. Ngayon pa nga lang, di pa nga niya iniiwan. Nakakalahati pa lang siya. Papunta pa lang siya sa kalahati. Sa June pa lang siya
Wala na,
mangangalahati,
ubos
diba?
na.
Sa June, tama. Sa June pa lang siya mangangalahati. Pero nakikita na ho natin mga kababayan na marami na talagang nagpatong-patong na ho ang problema ng Pilipinas mula nung pumasok itong bangag na Marcos na to. Grabe naman yan. Si Lenny Robredo, wala ho tayong nakitang ganyan nung siya ang vice president. Diba? Matigas talaga itong si Lenny. Mahal na mahal talaga siya ng sambayan ng Pilipinas.
Hindi na makadaan si Inday Sara. Oh, grabe.
Mayor Rama.
Kataas mo tayo.
Pagkatapos ho niyan, punta ho tayo dito sa naging talumpati nitong si Vice President Sara
Okay, may
Duterte.
talumpati
Pakinggan
si
ho
Inday
natin ito,
Sara
mga kababayan.
dito sa Tudela, Misamis Occidental.
Painom ka niya, malain maglawa, sana, or kanang wala niyo. Dili, sa Occidental. So, diyo ko ninyo, kinsa nagdala sa iyahan. Nga niya, gibuhat sa kuwao, ano siya. Ana, diri, ana. Sumbag ka, tambag ka. Sa di ati ka akong kaagi. Ana siya diri, ana siya. Pagkaman diri next. Diri, ana. Tapos, ang iya ba yung kanaganing ano gani? Di ka lang init, kuryente sa sugod. No joke. Kanang, ingana lang siya, pero sa sulod, kanang, kuan, mura siya kanang init nga, basta ragana, grounded. Manang, pero diris, hinay lang. Pero sa sulod, mura siya kanang anak niya, pagka man diris, na siya. Ikibalo naman pa naman, kay kapila na kong ginawarningan, anak. Kani ato pa ka ng, batanon pa ko nga politiko ba, nakauban ako nga mga konsihal, magsulti, magina sila, pagbantay o pikpik, pagbantay o ka ng painon ka, daw di magdihan, unya, suutan ko ni, o ka na, nagagilak, o dayawon, kay para pamontra, anak. So, muna kuan. Magpabiya na lang kasi saan pa man. Giingat dito, di ka dito makagawa na rin bungi. Ako ang ganina. Kanya ako ang kauban. Hindi ako pa uli. Nasaan ako sa kong anak na muli ko. Tali kami ito tumutan. Ako siya kumunto. Tawagan ko ng Japan. Sabi anak. Tapos, igugod na ko siya. Nawali nga na ba yan yung buwana? So, igugod na ko siya. Sa kadaghan sa mga tao, gi-anak din ako siya. Gi-anak ako siya. Pero kapaspas kayo siya. Nakabalik. Saka daghan ba, sa kagupon sa mga tao, dinawala. Nawala na siya. So, pag-ana niya diri balik, wala na ko ka. Balik po, murag pa ng boxing sa pikpik ba. Kabalos. Kakuan na. Tapos pagkahuman nato. Pagkahuman nato, nasakit na ko. So, murag October ba to? October 2023. Nga pagka-December. Nasakit na ko. O niya, na-hospital na ko. December. Unya, pagka nauli-ulian ko, na okay ko. Ipauli ko sa kong mama o Davao. Anak kong mama nga, uli na dito sa Davao. Unya, pagkahuman, itambalan, ana, DPT, physical therapy, unya, binisaya, idungan na duha. Ana, unya, pagkahuman, na okay ko, nakabalik ko January. Pagkahuman, April, kabalik na po sa hospital. Tapos pagka May, naoperahan ako.
Igorgor na ka. Iyam lang
O ako kabalos lagot. Kinako. Nawa ang tagang sa amin sa sila.
alay na ako.
Kaya kung taga-tudela, tumahan na sila. Padala ko pa.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, yun ang pinaka-latest na pagsasalita
Okay.
nitong si Vice President
Magbasa
Sara
muna tayo
Duterte,
ng message
sa
dito mga kababayan ko, ha?
Kababayan natin dyan sa...
Okay, and dito tayo kay Junabel Napolis. Hello ma'am, welcome to our live po. Solid Team Duterte kami lahat dito. Vote straight PDP Plaban. Opo, vote straight tayo po para maprotektahan natin si Inday Sara Duterte pagka 2028. Okay? Si Ma'am Alma naman, grabe gyud ka-believe ni Inday Sara sila ra iyang stages okay ra kaayo niya. Tama. Tama ka Ma'am Alma. Grabe gyud siya. silya ra ang iyang stage o gigunitan lang. Makabilib ni si Inday Sara. Silya lang ang iyang stage, okay ra kaayo niya. Oh, gigunitan lang nila kay baka mahulog siya. Ginoo ko, Maria Josep. Tingnan nimo yan ang mga tao dito. Okay? So, napakabilib ako dito sa batang ito.
Misamis Occidental. Ito ho, rekta ho tayo dito sa oral
patuloy po
argument
tayo.
dyan sa Supreme Court na nangyari kahapon.
프리티에서 소개합니다.
Dito naman tayo susunod. Sa
DJ
Supreme
Orange.
Court naman tayo.
와일드 베리,
May malilitsyon ngayong araw. Pangalan Maynard Guevara.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Nurse!
Yes, good
Maynard.
afternoon, Mr. Solicitor General. Mr. Solicitor General, can you please refer to the provision in the law, UHCA law, regarding which reads, no portion of the reserve fund or income thereof shall accrue to the general fund of the national government or any of its agencies or instrumentalities, including government-owned or controlled corporation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this the first time last year? Was it the first time that GOCCs or any government agency for that matter were required to review and reduce their respective reserve funds for the purpose of producing funds to be transferred to the National Treasury?
As far as I know, this is the first time, Your Honor.
All right. So, would you agree that in so doing, review and reduce their respective reserve funds? Okay. The PhilHealth specifically reopened the closed books. Its closed books in 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Your Honor, I am not really very sure about the technical meaning of reopening one's books. But as far as I know, based on that provision of the special provision 1D, Chapter 43, on the unprogrammed appropriations, what is simply required is for the GOCCs to review and reduce to a reasonable level their reserve funds on the basis of their historical disbursements over the past few years, 3 years to be more specific.
Yes,
So
Mr.
it's a matter of
Solicitor General.
simply looking at the data pertaining to their annual disbursements for 2021, 2022, and 2023.
All
Your Honor.
right. And because of this review, the PhilHealth was able to reduce its reserve funds for these 3 years. And it is those funds that the PhilHealth transferred to the Bureau of Treasury.
No, Your Honor. They computed the reasonable amount of reserves based on actual disbursements for the past 3 years. And the remainder is the one that was used as basis for determining the amount to be remitted back to the National
So
Treasury.
do you mean to say, Mr. Solicitor General, that for 2021, there was an excess reserve funds?
Excess of reserve
Funds, yes.
Well, I would say that, excess of reserve funds in relation to what, Your Honor?
Reserve funds are specifically earmarked to answer or cover payments
Yes,
of
Your
the
Honor.
claims of beneficiaries. And if there is an excess, to fund programs that will ultimately reduce the financial responsibilities of the beneficiaries. And third, if there's still excess in the excess, to invest the same. So Mr. Solicitor General, in 2021, was there excess reserve funds?
Your Honor, if we are going by the definition of reserve fund under Section 11 of the Universal Health Care Act, that reserve fund is determined by the actuarial computation.
Yes, Mr. Solicitor General, I have no quarrel with that. My point is, was there excess funds in 2021 coming from the reserve funds of PhilHealth?
Yes, the answer to that question is yes,
and
Your Honor.
Section 11 tells PhilHealth what to do with the excess funds.
Exactly, Your
Doesn't
Honor.
it? Yes?
No, Your Honor, there is no violation because that responsibility on the part of PhilHealth to make use of any excess over the reserve fund for the twin purposes of increasing benefit packages and reducing the contributions from the members is something that can be implemented within the period of 10 years. It's not something that has to be implemented immediately. So in other words, even if we have that special provision 1D, it does not mean that the obligations of PhilHealth to spend the excess over its reserve fund has been abandoned because that is something that can be complied with at some future time. It's
At some future time.
It's a 10-year period of implementation, Your Honor.
This is the sixth year.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you have not started with the programs yet. Because according to you, the excess funds may be devoted for other purposes. Because anyway, the timeline is 10 years.
No, Your Honor, there is no inconsistency because as we speak, PhilHealth has been increasing its benefit packages even before Special Provision 1D came into effect. And more so after that provision, special provision, was enacted as part of the unprogrammed appropriations.
Yes, Ms.
Akala siguro nitong si Marcos Jr. makakalusot tong si Maynard Guevara. Hindi, kahit nag-ano pa kagaling ang abogadong iharap nyo, pagkamali, hindi kayo makakalusot.
We have
Mr.
seen a
General.
slew of benefit increases over the past several.
Basta mali gani, mahirap na siyang protektahan. Mahirapan ang mga tao mo magprotekta sa inyo, President Marcos, pag mali ka, pag magsinungaling ka. Kaya pagod silang lahat sa iyo. Okay? So, patuloy po tayo. Hello, Phil.
Months, Your Honor.
Several months, not only. Several months only.
But
When PhilHealth is required to do it from the time it has been created under UHCA.
That is very true, Your Honor,
Yes.
but this is a matter which is reserved to the Board of Directors of PhilHealth.
Yes.
This is a management
A
thing.
management and a business judgment. But then, the judgment of PhilHealth to disburse its funds is limited by Section 11. That reserve funds, as it is named, is reserved and cannot be subject to the discretion of PhilHealth to be used for another purpose.
We are referring, Your Honor, to the excess over the reserve fund.
Yes, but the excess is also subject to the provision of Section 11. And Section 11 mentions the purposes for which this excess should have been used.
Yes, Your Honor. Let me discuss the second purpose, which is to reduce the contributions of the members. In our opinion, Your Honor, that is something that PhilHealth itself cannot do at the moment. There is no mechanism provided under the Universal Healthcare Act that would authorize the reduction at this time of the contributions from the members. What we see in the Universal Healthcare is a schedule of the premium rates from 2019 down to 2025. But after 2025, there's nothing there. And there is neither any provision for a reduction of the contributions rates, the premium rates. So it is our opinion, Your Honor, that legislative action is necessary to bring down the contribution premium rates.
Right? That is your opinion, Mr. Solicitor General.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. But this court's, my reading is this. This is self-executing. And it is PhilHealth that must execute it because the law is in place already. All right.
봄이라는 마법이 시작되는 3월이니까 내려갑니다. 마법처럼 내려라 내려 삼겹살.
All right. When funding unprogrammed appropriations, how does Congress determine where to get the funds and which appropriations to realign?
Your Honor, under Special Provision 1D, there are various sources of funds, such as excess of revenue collections over the targets, or new revenues, whether these are tax or non-tax. There are foreign loans approved, which might also go into the pool. And finally, this new additional source.
And excess reserve funds.
Excess...
Reserve funds.
No, it's called
As a result,
fund balance.
Yes,
Your Honor.
as a result of the review and reduction scheme.
To reasonable levels
Yeah.
of their...
To reasonable level.
Of their reserve funds.
Is discretionary. It has no fixed standard. All right.
There are
So-
guidelines, Your Honor, set by the Department
Yes.
of Finance for determining the computation of what should be a reasonable level.
Yes. According to the DOF, the funds to be remitted to the National Treasury will finance urgent national projects. In Annex A of your compliance, dated November 8, 2024, pages 1 to 4, the OSG enumerated some of these projects, including routine maintenance of national roads, the Panay-Guimaras-Negros Island Bridges, or the PGN Bridges project, and payment of right-of-way. These are all construction projects, Mr. Solicitor General, correct?
Not all of them, Your Honor.
All
Some
right.
of them pertain to health projects.
No, I'm talking about the routine maintenance of national roads, the PGN Bridges project, and payment of right-of-way. Correct?
In a sense, they are
Yes,
routinary,
they are.
ordinary expenses.
They
of
are they
expenditures.
pertain to construction projects of the government. Correct?
Infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah, infrastructure.
You can call it that, infrastructure
What
projects. All right. With respect to the PGN Bridges project, per DBM's budget of expenditures and source of financing FY 2024 report, the PGN Bridges project appears to be fully funded by the Export-Import Bank of Korea in the amount of 174.49 billion plus. Is there
Okay. 174 billion. plus. Grabe. 174, 492, 425 billion. Okay, pesos equivalent. Funded by Korea Bank. So nakita ninyo mga kababayan ko, grabe. Grabe talaga ang ginagawa nila.
there an urgency to transfer the PhilHealth funds when the project is already fully funded?
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is a matter really of delving into the wisdom of the legislature in allocating funds.
Yes.
So while
funding a project that is already fully funded under the category of unprogrammed and funds.
Double
I
funding na
didn't
yan.
quite get the
Programs.
question, Your
Yes.
Honor. Pardon me.
Yes. Export-Import Bank of Korea
Yeah.
has
Funding.
loaned the Philippines 174.49 billion plus. Is there an urgency to transfer the PhilHealth funds when the project is already fully funded?
Your Honor, I think one consideration by the Congress in doing so is a determination of when a project is already implementable. So if a project that has already been identified and sufficiently funded is considered to be non-implementable for the given fiscal year, then I think it is the decision of the Congress in the exercise of its policy or wisdom, so to speak, to move it to the unprogrammed appropriations in the meantime.
Yes, all right. So, has the government moved this amount to the unprogrammed funds of the government?
There are so...
This
sorry, Your Honor.
Export-Import Bank of Korea loan, has the government moved it to unprogrammed funds?
We will have to check on
Yes,
that.
please check on that.
Yes, whether that has been actually transferred only or removed altogether.
Yes.
Because there were certain removals made by the Congress in the proposed infrastructure or other projects
How
of the
can
government.
the government have removed this when it is a loan specifically for that purpose?
Just a moment, please. May tanong si Ma'am Alma dito. Ma'am Ellen, kinsay manubag ana nga problema? Supposedly po, si Marcos ani at saka si Romualdez manubag. Kasi ang pag-transfer ng funds sa PhilHealth, sila ang mag-order dyan. Walang ibang nag-order dyan. Walang nag-utos iba dyan. It's either si Romualdez or si Marcos or si Marcos and Romualdez together both. Kaya sila ang mananagot dito. Ang akala kasi ni Marcos yata na si Minardo de Guevara hindi mahirapan mag-protect sa ginagawa nila. Nahirapan si Minardo de Guevara sa isang Supreme Court Justice na oral argument sila dito sa paglipat ng pundo sa PhilHealth. Ginamit nila sa infrastructure project. Okay? So, yun ang problema dyan po. Kaya ginamit ni Marcos si Solicitor General Guevara para ito ang magsagot. Kaya nahirapan, kahirap-hirap bang, hirap kasing itanggol itong mga taong malaking kasalanan. Tama ka dyan. Okay, tuloy.
It is something that can be deferred, Your Honor, even
Yes,
if it's
what
funded.
is the reason for deferring it?
Your Honor, I cannot speculate on the
Correct.
reasons of the
I go now,
congressman.
yes, to my next question.
Okay.
Has the government spent even a single centavo from that loan, considering that the project has not even started?
Nako.
Well, there is
Iwas ka diyan.
nothing to spend for if the project has not even started, Your
So
Honor.
where is the money?
Okay.
The money,
Yan.
Magaling itong si magaling tong si Honorable Ami Lazaro Javier. Mahusay.
went presumably
Good.
to the National Treasury for the purpose of using it for projects and programs under the unprogrammed
So we have
appropriations.
unused funds for the project, and yet we still got money from PhilHealth
Nako po,
to supplement this fund that has been unused for years.
Nako.
Not automatically, Your Honor, because even if the funds, even if the sources of funds under special provision, number one, of the unprogrammed appropriations is already there and is ready to be used for the projects under the unprogrammed appropriations, it is still a question of whether the implementing agency is ready to implement that project. So if the implementing agency does not think that it can implement such a project within the given year, then it will not ask for any allocation under the
Yes.
unprogrammed appropriations.
Yes, but aside from the foreign funding from Korea for
Yeah.
this project, in 2022, there was additional funding from the GAA for this project
Good.
in the amount of 50 million in 2022. In 2023, another 57 million. This is over and above the Korea Export-Import Bank of Korea loan. Where did this money go when the project has not even started?
Oh my God.
We will check on that, Your
Oh,
Honor, because
boy.
that is a very specific project which we have not really examined.
Yes,
We're
please
looking
do
at
that.
the totality of all the projects that were defunded or where the allocations have been reduced, and or some projects that had actually been removed from the program appropriations under the NEP, and which may have found themselves in the unprogrammed appropriations.
Yes, Mr. Solicitor General. And based on the special allotment release order, the use of funds for the PGN Bridge project is released on a quarterly basis.
Just a moment, please. Sandali lang. 안녕하세요, 거머님. 저녁 식사했습니다. 네, 오늘도 화이팅. 항상, 거머님. 항상 화이팅. 오케이. 거님, 잘 지냈습니까, 거머님? 날씨 괜찮아요? 마마 집에 안 갔어요, 오늘? 혹시? Okay. Ma'am Alma naman, nang kurog na si Tambaluslos ana, naglantaw ana karon kay nahalungkat na ilang trabaho. Tama po dyan. Tama ka, Ma'am Alma. Okay, 오늘 또 사랑합니다. 네, 고모님 감사합니다. 사랑해요. 네. 그래서 tuloy tayo.
Showing that the payment of funds is done in phases. More based on the press release of the local government of Iloilo on the project timeline, the construction period for Section A, which is the 13-kilometer Panay-Guimaras project, is from a third quarter of 2025 up to the fourth quarter of 2028.
Okay.
Given these premises, what is the urgency of remitting the subject funds if the construction of the PG and Bridges project has already been funded and has yet to start in 2025?
Your Honor, the
Oh my
urgency is on the use of these available funds for all the projects listed under the unprogrammed appropriations. There are so many of them. I think 57 different
Yes,
purposes.
and it's one of them. And it's one of them. And it shows that it has had multiple fundings.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
right.
On maintenance of national roads, which national roads are we referring to?
Your Honor, we can refer to the SARO released by the Department of Budget and Management to determine which particular projects had already availed themselves of funding from the provisions of special
So there are no
provision.
specific national roads that are covered by the unprogrammed funds.
Your Honor, what is stated under the unprogrammed appropriations are purposes. Purposes, not specific particular project.
Correct.
Now, it depends on the implementing agency to determine which specific road project it wants to be implemented using the funds available from Special Provision 1B.
Yes, thank you for that, Mr. Solicitor General. In the 2024 GAA, there is already an appropriation for the maintenance of national roads under its special road fund of 15 million, 1.6 billion under maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructure facilities and other related activities, routing maintenance of national roads, and 463 million under maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructure facilities and other related activities, routing maintenance of national bridges, all under the DPWH budget. More, per DPWH Department Order Number 32 Series of 2020, the road fund shall be remitted to the National Treasury and earmarked for the construction, upgrading, repair, and rehabilitation of roads, bridges, and road drainage. Perhaps each one of us pays the road tax each time we renew our licenses or we register our cars. Considering all these fundings, why is there a need to get additional funds from PhilHealth for the same road maintenance under the category of unprogrammed appropriations?
Your Honor, as I have explained earlier, during the deliberations of the budget, on the budget by the Congress, they determine whether some or a few or several of the projects identified by the proponent agency are something that can be implemented within the given fiscal year. So I cannot speculate, but I can only think of the reason that they may remove some of these specific projects identified in their belief that they cannot be implemented anyway or can wait until some future time, and therefore they remove them from the programmed appropriations.
Programmed appropriations, what I understand is this. There are already programmed appropriations, but in addition,
침대는 왜 과학일까? 침대 과학은 수면 시 에너지 소비를 줄여줄 수 있을까? 저탄성 소재로 탄력과 반발력이 약해 뒤척일 때 에너지 소비가 심한
unprogrammed funds were also sourced out from GOCCs. PhilHealth is one of them. So here's maintenance for roads, national roads, that carry both programmed funds and unprogrammed funds. All right. Now, let's go to the payment of right-of-way. Of course, as Solicitor General, you wouldn't know how many properties the government is projecting to pay for, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
But under the 2024 GAA, DPWH was granted 2.5 billion for payment of right-of-way.
Wow.
So why is there a need to tap PhilHealth funds for payment of right-of-way?
Okay.
Your Honor, let me just clarify that we are not referring solely to PhilHealth funds. I mean, the remainder of...
Correct.
We are referring to a pool
Yes,
of funds.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Solicitor General. But it is a fact that money was taken, billions.
Yeah.
In fact, 89 billion, although a little was restrained by the government, by the Supreme Court. So that's the fact, that billions of pesos were taken from the reserve funds of PhilHealth. What? For the construction of a bridge that has not even started,
Okay.
and that has been funded many times over,
Your-
and a right-of-way that is already
Paid.
funded by millions, by billions, and then maintenance of the roads that is already funded by billions under the GAA.
Mahihirapan ho talaga.
Your Honor, under the
Mahihirapan ho talaga si Maynard Guevara.
Dito ka mahirapan, sir. It is very difficult to protect sa kasinungalingan. Mahirap itanggol ang mga magnanakaw at sinungaling, Solicitor General Minardo Guevara. Nahirapan ka na, sir. Okay? Hirapan ka. Galing mo noon sa time ni Pangulong Duterte, saludo ako sa iyo. Ngayon, parang kumakampi ka sa hindi tama, Solicitor. Hirap itanggol ang magnanakaw at sinungaling. Buti na lang, tukparok ka na lang. Okay? So, sige.
Paano mo didepensahan pagkamali kahit anong gawin mo, mabubutasan at mabubutasan ka? Huwag mong isipin, Maynard Guevara, na napakahusay mo, mahuhusay din yung mga kausap mo dyan. Huwag mong isipin na makakalusot ka sa mga yan dahil kung paano ka mag-isip bilang abogado, ganun din mo mag-isip. Di naman ho magiging, ang tawag ito, magiging associate justice. Itong si Ma'am Ami, kung putyo-putyong abogado.
Yan.
Hindi
At
ho
saka
mangyayari
bata pa yata
yun.
ito.
Kaya kung iniisip nito si Maynard Guevara, naku, mapapaikutan ko Supreme Court dito. Malabo hong mangyari yun. Malabo yun.
the purposes listed under unprogrammed appropriations, the biggest chunk goes to social projects,
What social...
including health projects. And as a matter of fact, as of December of 2024, the total amount of 46 billion pesos, thereabouts, more or less, had been devoted under the unprogrammed appropriations for social, more particularly health projects, such as the regional hospitals of the Department of Health, and most importantly, Your Honor, for the payment of the long overdue health emergency allowances of medical workers who were supposed to be paid during the pandemic, but whose payment had been substantially delayed. So the very first payment made out of the unprogrammed appropriations went to
Yes.
the payment of the health emergency allowances of nurses and other medical workers.
But there is an overlap between this general purpose for unprogrammed funds on one hand and the special purpose for which PhilHealth funds have been constituted. Right. Now, the other projects funded from the GOCCs, including PhilHealth, include management and supervision of comprehensive peace process, payment of personnel benefits, priority social programs for health, social welfare and development, higher education, and technical and vocational education, revised AFP modernization program, pension and gratuity fund, financial subsidy for purchase of photovoltaic mainstreaming for rural electrification. Now, may I ask, which comprehensive peace process does this refer to?
I'm not sure exactly which is being referred to, but I suppose that refers to the long and ongoing peace process that has started many administrations ago and which has not been completed. So I suppose this includes the peace process involving our brothers in southern Mindanao.
Yes, but like the other programs, under the unprogrammed appropriations, the 2024 GAA already has an item under the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity for this purpose, which is 459 million plus. We're flashing it on the screen. What is the need for additional 688 million plus budget under the unprogrammed appropriations? Is the peace process part of the mandate of PhilHealth?
Again, Your Honor, I cannot speculate why Congress put such a project under the unprogrammed appropriations.
Precisely, we are here, okay,
Yes, Your Honor, but
to evaluate whether the assignment of this item, the inclusion, is proper. Is it valid? Is it constitutional?
Your Honor, it's just a list. The matter of actual availment will have to be determined by the implementing
Yes,
agency.
but because of that list, 89 billion funds of the PhilHealth,
Kotsi. That's right.
minus the last remittance, okay, was transferred to the National Treasury.
Okay.
Your Honor, again, this is a matter which should be addressed to the wisdom and the policy of the legislature. So
Naturuan na kayo ngayon.
I believe, will not be
Legislature
in
na
a position to say that a certain appropriation is right
Yes.
or wrong or proper or improper.
Yes.
We have to rely
So,
on the wisdom
wisdom,
of the
which
people
is
who represent us.
a political question.
In that
Except
sense, yes.
only if it is tainted with grave abuse of discretion.
Exactly, Your Honor.
All right. What about the personnel benefits? The amounts needed to implement the salary adjustments of the national government agencies shall be charged from the respective agencies' budgets per National Budget Circular number 591 of the DBM. Why is this item charged against PhilHealth and categorized as unprogrammed?
There is an existing appropriation for that under the program appropriations, Your
Yes.
Honor. But in addition, or probably in substitution of a part of the amount already allocated in the program, the appropriations, Congress deemed it proper to include as a standby this particular item if funds would be available
All right.
to support it.
Standby, but the reserve funds is not just standby.
Okay.
All right. Now,
Pahiya ka.
meanwhile, for priority social programs for health, the DOH budget under the 2024 GAA already includes 28 billion plus for the implementation of health facilities enhancement program and 58 billion plus for medical assistance for indigent and financially incapacitated patients. How are these different from the priority social programs for health under the unprogrammed appropriations?
Your Honor, as I have explained earlier, during the process of budget deliberations, Congress might have removed or reduced the allocation for certain health projects, DOH
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, kung gusto nyo kumplituhin niya ang naging oral arguments na yan dyan sa Supreme Court kahapon, punta lang ho kayo sa UYT.
Ngayon po, makita na ninyo kung gaano na ang Supreme Court ngayon at ang nag-investigar na ang Supreme Court sa budget na ito. Mga kababayan ko, medyo umaalarma na ang mga kawatan ngayon kasi kumilos na ang Supreme Court. At itong Solicitor General, hindi ko alam kung bakit siya nagkandara pa na ipagtanggol ang mga taong parang source sa mga pagnanakaw. Okay? Ang hirap itanggol ang may kasalanan, Solicitor General. You are there, you must have to stand by the people. Hindi tama ang nang pangyayari. May nakawan talaga, serious nga nakawan. Huwag nimong protektahan. Hayaan mo lang. Okay? Solicitor General. At itong Honorable Ami Lazaro Javier, thank you so much for working hard about this. I hope you will continue the Supreme Court justices until we could find justice about this paglipat-lipat ng pundo, pagnakaw-nakaw ng pundo, ng pundo sa mga proyekto katulad nitong proyektong pinunduhan na ng Bank of Korea, pero hanggang ngayon 2025 na wala pang proyektong nasimulaan. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Anong ipinahiwatig dito? Ang lahat ng mga pera dyan, ninakaw na lang nila. Okay? So, salamat naman, Supreme Court, kumilos kayo. Bilis-bilisan natin kasi ubos-ubos na tayo. Okay? Punta naman tayo sa message dire. Mayralyn Zamora, good evening Ma'am Host. Good evening din po sa inyo. Mabuhay ang tunay na dugong Pilipino. We are not Filipino for nothing. Good. That's right. I like that. Okay? So, bago tayo magtapos, please vote straight tayo sa PDP, mga kababayan ko. Iboto natin ang lahat na kandidato sa PDP para maprotektahan natin si Inday Sara sa 2028 election. Para maprotektahan din natin si Inday Sara sa pinagawa nilang impeachment na wala namang magandang substance. Okay? So, yun mga kababayan ko. Asahin naman natin si Ma'am Alma. Basin dako pod na ugbahin sa kwarta Ma'am Ilin. Posible po kasi during the time of Pangulong Duterte, gustuhan ko nitong stand niya dati. Ngayon na nakaupo si Marcos, iba ang takbo niya. Now, do not forget mga kababayan ko, may mga justices nga makurap din. Makurap din sila minsan. Kasi sabi ko na, mainit ang pera. Kaya mabuti na lang mayroon pang malasakit itong si Ma'am Honorable Ami C. Lazaro Javier na napaka-pure ang intention niya sa pag-investigar niya. Sana hindi siya magbago. Magpatuloy tayo maghanap sa katotohanan, mga kababayan ko. Okay? So, vote straight, PDP, ulitin ko, at maglagay tayo ng party list din sa Kongreso. Mayroon tayong Duterte party list, PPP, mayroon tayong young party list, sa Duterte party list din yan sila, at saka mayroon ding Ipanaw party list. Pili na lang kayo dyan, kahit sino sa kanila makaupo, maligaya na tayo dyan. Okay? So, yun ang napag-usapan natin dito. Ito lang ang maipag-share ko sa inyo. Napaka maganda itong ginagawa dito na argument. Okay, subaybayan natin ito. Kasi pera ito ng bayan sa PhilHealth na pinoprotektahan sana natin para sa mamayang Pilipino, protektahan din ni Solicitor General ang mga magnakaw dito sa PhilHealth. Kaya subaybayan natin. Okay? So, mga kababayan ko, unless you still have more message there, basahin natin or okay na tayo dito. Okay? So, maraming salamat po sa ating lahat nga nandito. Maraming salamat sa mga nag-message dito ni Ma'am Alma, ni Maralyn, salamat po ni Kumunim, salamat. At kumasimnida Sandy Escolano, thank you very much. Junabel Napolis, thank you so much sa mga messages ninyo po. At sa mga replay viewers natin, maraming salamat din sa inyong lahat po. Maraming salamat at magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. A blessed evening everyone. Bye-bye po.